Every house of Westeros raises a banner, and on that banner they wear a beast, a flower, or a sign of pride. To most, these are no more than painted cloth and painted boasts. Yet, what if the symbols themselves were not mere paint? What if the Wolf of Stark, the Lion of Lannister, the Kraken of Greyjoy, all were real, flesh and bone, bred for war, as the Targaryens bred their dragons? Imagine a realm where every sigil roamed the battlefield as living terror. Which houses would rise highest in that grim contest of flesh and fire? Tonight we turn our eyes to the banners and the beasts behind them. Let us rank the 10 strongest as if their heraldry itself were alive. 10th, House Arryn, the Falcon of the Vale. The Arryns of the Eyrie have ever been proud lords, lofty and untouchable within their mountain halls. Their sigil bears the white falcon in flight, a predator of the skies, piercing-eyed and swift. Now imagine such falcons grown vast as destriers, wings broad enough to shadow a village square. Trained from the cradle by falconers of the Vale, these great birds would stoop upon their foes like thunderbolts. Their talons, longer than scythes, could pierce even a knight's plate. The Vale itself lends them advantage. From the sheer cliffs and icy pinnacles, falcons could be launched like javelins of the gods, diving upon invaders climbing narrow mountain passes. On open fields, Arryn falcons would harry and disrupt, striking eyes and tearing horses from beneath riders. And while a falcon cannot match a dragon's fire, its speed is unmatched. A dragon is a storm. A falcon is the lightning strike that kills before thunder comes. 9. House Martell, the Viper of Dawn. The Dornish sun blazes upon their spears, but the Martell's true weapon lies in patience and poison. Their emblem, the sun and spear, is often paired with the serpent, the sand viper. In this imagining, the Vipers of Dawn are bred monstrous. Serpents as long as war galleys, scales gleaming like bronze, eyes burning red in the desert sun. They do not roar nor charge. They wait. Coiled beneath sand, they spring forth at the perfect moment. Their venom is death itself. A single bite could rot a knight from within, blackening his veins in moments. Whole companies would break before the strike ever landed, for men fear poison more than steel. The Dornish would unleash them in ambushes, beneath dunes and along wadis. Even in death, the vipers serve, for their venom-tipped fangs could be harvested, smeared upon blades and darts. They are not the largest of beasts, nor the most armored, but they are the most insidious. And in war, fear itself can be the sharpest weapon. 8. House Mormont, the Bear of Bear Island. Far in the north, beneath pines and snows, the Mormonts hold Bear Island. Their sigil speaks plain. The bear, shaggy and strong. Now picture not the common brown bear, but a breed raised for generations in the cold. Twice the size, armored by hide, thick as boiled leather, claws like hooked axes. These are not circus beasts, but war bears, trained to march beside Mormont warriors, clad in mail. In shield walls, the bears are living battering rams, smashing spears and scattering lines. In the woods, they are silent stalkers, able to uproot trees and crush skulls with one blow. Loyal to their keepers, they fight as kin. Though slow compared to falcons or wolves, bears are near impossible to kill without heavy weaponry. Arrow, sword, or spear glances from their hides. Against such fury, even knights of renown would falter. If wolves are clever and lions proud, then bears are unyielding. In the north, when the snow falls heavy, it is not the wolf alone who endures, but the bear who stands unbroken. 7. House Umber, the giants of the last hearth. Few sigils are as strange as the Umbers. Their banner shows a roaring giant, chain-bound, A boast, most assume, but let us imagine it literal. Picture towering figures, 20 feet high, shoulders broad as keeps, clad in rough furs and wielding uprooted trees as clubs. The Umbers march to war not only with men, but with giants at their side. On the battlefield, giants are devastation made flesh. Walls crumble beneath their fists, gates torn wide, horses and men alike crushed beneath their tread. Against them, only the largest of beasts or the strongest sorceries could stand. Yet giants bear flaws. They are slow, their tempers wild, they need endless food, and their great hearts are vulnerable to cunning strikes. Still, when unleashed in numbers, they are the closest thing the North has to dragons. The Umbers, fierce and loud, would ride to battle shouting as their giants thunder beside them. What man would not break at the sight? 6. House Lannister, the Lion of Casterly Rock. "Hear me roar," the Lannisters say, and their beast, the Golden Lion, needs no invention. For lions already rule the wild, kings of predator and prey. But in this imagining, Lannister lions are bred greater, shoulder high to a man, muscles rippling beneath gilded hides. Their roars echo like war horns. Their claws rip shields apart. And above all, they fight in prides. Disciplined by trainers, as loyal as Lannister bannermen. In the field, a pride of golden lions could scatter cavalry charges, ripping horses apart mid-gallop. In city streets, they are chaos incarnate, able to leap and climb where armored knights cannot follow. And just as the Lannisters are famed for wealth, so too are their lions adorned. Golden chains, crimson caparisons, helms forged for beasts, terror dressed in splendor. If the wolf is loyalty and the stag strength, then the lion is dominance. A battlefield where lions stride is one where foes know true despair. 5. House Stark, the dire wolf of the north. Wolves roam the forests, but the Stark's sigil bears the dire wolf, and here we grant it flesh. Dire wolves of legend are massive, near the size of small horses, eyes glinting with strange intelligence. Imagine them bred for war. Coats thick as armor, jaws able to shatter steel helms, paws that carry them faster than any hound. But it is not size alone that gives them strength. Wolves are pack creatures. They fight as one, their howls carrying across snowfields like doom itself. When one strikes, the rest follow, coordinated, relentless. The Stark bannermen would ride beside them, shield to shield, while dire wolves slipped ahead to tear enemy lines apart. No scout could outpace them, no knight outrun them. And beyond the flesh, there is something older in the dire wolf, something tied to the old gods, to the heart trees and whispering leaves. In their gaze, one feels the chill of winter's truth, that all men are prey in the end. 4th House Baratheon, the stag of Storm's End. The Baratheons' crowned stag is no gentle deer. Imagine beasts towering 15 feet tall at the shoulder, antlers spreading wider than sails, sharpened to spear points. These war stags thunder across the battlefield in charges that rival heavy cavalry. A single swing of their antlers can impale 3 men at once. Their hooves shatter shields like kindling. And unlike horses, they do not spook at blood, they crave it. The Storm Lords would ride at their side, or else simply loose them into enemy lines as living catapults of bone and muscle. On open fields, they are unmatched shock troops. In woods, they vanish into trees, only to erupt upon foes like the storms that gave them name. If the lion commands fear and the wolf respect, the stag brings awe. A symbol of kingship, reborn as a weapon of war. Third House Greyjoy, the Kraken of Pike. The sea is the Ironborn's kingdom, and no sigil is so perfectly matched to its master as the Greyjoy Kraken. Kraken of legend are colossal, arms long as masts, eyes the size of shields. In this imagining, they are no sailor's tale but living war beasts, bred in the deeps around Pike, bound by chains and hornblasts to Ironborn ships. In naval war, they are unrivaled. Krakens capsize galleys as easily as a man overturns a cup. Their arms rip hulls apart, drag sailors screaming beneath waves, and smash harbor walls with ease. Even castles by the sea would fall, their foundations pulled apart stone by stone. On land, Krakens are near useless, but the Ironborn do not care for land. At sea, their Krakens make them gods. No fleet could hope to cross without dread of what waits beneath. The old saying claims, "What is dead may never die." With Krakens beneath them, the Greyjoys would rule every coast. Second House Umber, the giants of the north. Here we crown the Umbers higher still. For while Krakens rule the sea, giants would rule the land. Armies march for weeks to face one another. Giants cover the same ground in days. While cavalry tires, giants stride. While walls are built, giants smash. The sight of one giant is terror. The sight of 20 is despair itself. But even giants cannot fly. And here lies their limit. For as tall as they may be, they remain bound to earth. And above the earth, there are monsters greater still. First House Targaryen, the dragon lords of Westeros. No beast, no banner, no symbol bred to flesh can rival the dragon. The three-headed dragon of House Targaryen is no boast, but truth. Dragons fly. They breathe fire. They grow until castles are but perches. Balerion the Black Dread casts shadows over cities, his wingspan longer than the streets of King's Landing. What lion can leap to the sky? What wolf can burn fields with its breath? What kraken can climb from the sea to strike a mountain? Keep? None. Dragons are hunger, fire, and ruin made flesh. They conquered Westeros entire, where no other house's beast could hope to do so. And so, though many houses would rise mighty if their banners breathed, only one would rule all. The Targaryens already proved it. Thus do we rank them, from falcon to viper, from lion to stag, from kraken to giant, and dragon above them all. If ever the banners of Westeros were loosed as flesh, the realm would know no peace, only endless war of beast and man alike. Yet one truth endures, as it always has. Where dragons fly, all others must bow or burn. You've made it this far, so go ahead and tap that like button and hit that subscribe button. It costs you nothing but a heartbeat, and yet it binds you to our growing clan. One quick click, and you stand among us free and welcome as we ride deeper into the lore together.